Hello everyone, Mega Man NG here, and welcome to another weekly episode review of Gotham. This week's episode is part of the Rise of the Villains Season 2, Knock Knock. Now be forewarned, however, there will be spoilers, so if you have not seen the episode, don't watch this. That's all I am going to say. What I will say is that this episode was just really good. Here's how this episode's going to break down. I'm going to explain some of the many plots, my thoughts on them, not to mention I'm going to be listing my favorite moments and my least favorite moments. And one other thing, I don't know if I will be providing screenshots because I'm trying my best to look for shots from the episodes. But over time, I will do it. Just not at the moment currently because I'm way too busy with a lot of other things. So, yeah, let's get this review underway because we have a lot to discuss. And like I said, spoiler alert is in sessions in 3, 2, 1, now. Let us begin. Taking place after the events of the last episode, the season premiere, Gordon has been reinstated as detective. With the incident of the Arkham Asylum inmates having been escaped and now in the custody of someone named Theo Gallivan, Gordon has assembled teams hoping to go after them. Now, I do like how Gordon is so determined in this case. He really portrays it well. And there were a lot of moments for Gordon. I mean, seriously, most of it was just crazy. It really was crazy. I mean that. And there was also another plot that went on with Theo Gallivan. He has his group, which are named the Maniac, causing havoc all over Gotham. And that includes killing people. With, like, one scene, for example, in the beginning of the episode, where they just throw off people out of the building and into the street. And they just, oh my God. When I first saw it, I was literally freaking out. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be real. There's going to be a lot of heat here, and it's no joke. It's just scary. But that's nothing compared to what happened later on. And that's going to be explained in one of my favorite moments of the episode. Like, later on after that, they go after a school bus full of cheerleaders. And they try to set them on fire. Okay, that's scary as it is. That's, like, really scary. Not only that, but I felt like, I think these guys were a bit extreme. And they mentioned in the episode that they were going to actually go after old people, but instead they went after the young. I don't know if these guys got standards or anything, but yeah, if they went after old people, then that's just really messed up. It really is messed up. Fortunately, the cheerleaders and everybody else are safe, which is good. And they continue their attacks even at the end of the episode when they massacre the police department. It was just chaos all over the place. Pure and utter chaos. I will be explaining my favorite parts about these scenes later on. Anyway, moving on to plot number 3. Bruce and Alfred's relationship. Oh boy, when I saw what happened in that episode, I was just, my God, why? Yeah, Bruce and Alfred's relationship hit a downturn due to Alfred's actions. Bruce was determined to find out the truth about what his father had done, as well as finding out the truth of Wayne Enterprises. Alfred, I don't know whether he was thinking straight or not, decided to do something about it and basically destroy the computer which had all the information, or basically the hard drive. That kind of made Bruce very pissed, which got Alfred fired. And when I saw that happen, I was like, oh my God, why? Alfred had his reasons and he wanted to protect you, but Bruce was so determined to find the truth that he was so blind. He was so stubborn. That to me was one of my least favorite moments, although a lot of people did praise that. And I do know that later on they do reconcile under certain conditions, but the fact is that when I saw Alfred getting fired, that really made me sad because I kind of liked Alfred and Bruce with their relationship with like Butler and the main ward. It was just sad. It really is. And the fourth and final plot, which is a minor plot at best, but Edward Nygma continues to struggle with his inner demons. You can tell the difference between Edward Nygma and his other self. Because the other self doesn't have the glasses, he's more confident, he's more sarcastic, and he's so determined to goad Edward that Edward is trying to, like, deny it no matter what. No matter what, Edward was trying to deny. He was trying to tell him, go away. He even went to yelling. And I can't blame him because maybe this guy has schizophrenia. Maybe he's just going crazy. Or that maybe because we know that Edward Nygma is the Riddler and it would be inevitable. Who knows, but it was a pretty interesting subplot. A minor one at that, but it was good. Okay. What I am going to say is that this episode was action-packed. There were a lot of favorite moments that I really did like. I really am not kidding. There were a lot of good moments. First and foremost, one of my favorites, without a doubt, was Jerome. And you know he was the Joker in the Batman verse. But in here, Jerome is just so psychotically terrifying. It's so believable. It is just incredible. One of my favorite scenes in the episode, and remember there is spoiler alert, is that he had a scene with one of the goons after a little sparring where Jerome had a chainsaw and the Mook had a samurai sword or a katana. Theo Galavin tried to do Russian roulette. Basically put one bullet and then the two would have Russian roulette. The way how Jerome did it with Russian roulette, and it made me wonder if Jerome was going to blow his head off, but he didn't. It was just scary. It was just funny. And it was also terrifying. Jerome really, I felt, stole the show in this episode. He really was. He was psychotic. And I can't help but to laugh and cheer for him. It was insane. But hey, it goes to show he's now the leader of the Maniacs, so who am I to complain? That was one of the best things about it. In fact, there were a lot of other scenes with Jerome that were fun, like hilarious and scary, like when he had all the cheerleaders hostage and threatened to put them on fire, or what happened in the end with the GCPD massacre, which is another favorite moment I'm going to be mentioning later. Meantime, let's keep on going. Anyway, Gordon meeting with Bullock was pretty nice. Harvey Bullock. Since, I believe, the end of Season 1, Harvey Bullock left the GCPD to work as a bartender. He has a fiancée, and his fiancée was determined not to have Bullock go back to that other path. He really was determined. Although the meeting was short, it did provide a lot of good character development for Gordon and Bullock, and it shows that the two really need each other. They really did. And speaking of which, Bruce and Alfred, another favorite moment I like was when they reconciled later on, but not before the two agreeing to help one another in exchange. Like, for example, Bruce promises to Alfred that he would do everything he says, everything Alfred tells him. Heck, he even go to school. I mean, like, wow. Just like that. I didn't think Alfred would get his job back at the very end. But I thought it would be like waiting till like later on in an episode or two. But hey, at least it's good development. It shows that Bruce and Alfred really do care for each other. And in exchange, Alfred would promise Bruce that he would help fix the computer the hard drive he destroyed. Yeah, it is hard, and that leads to another favorite moment that I liked. Lucius Fox. Alfred meeting Lucius Fox at a bar. And I like how the two conversed. It was pretty good. And it was nice that we got to see Lucius Fox in the series. He looks a bit younger, and he's still the same tech nerd that we all know in the Batman-verse. Don't believe me? Play Arkham Knight, and you'll know exactly why. Or I think Arkham Origins, I don't know. Now, here comes the crew on the matter. Another favorite moment I love. The attack at the police department. It was something I didn't think we would see coming. My God. It was full-blown chaos. It was insane. It was nuts. And it was like gunfire everywhere, people dying and all that. Made worse was that Gordon got beat up by, I believe, Barbara's Mook. Like Barbara's head Mook or something like that. And he got beat up bad. And Barbara told Gordon that she's free. Wow. That has to hurt. It really does hurt badly for Gordon. However, there was another favorite moment I liked. Was basically when Sarah, captain of the GCPD and boss to Gordon and Bullock, she stood up to Jerome, even going so far as to spit on him and even hit him. Wow, that takes a lot of balls. That takes a lot of balls for Sarah to stand up to her. That was insane, and it made me cheer. But all that cheering went downhill when, well, she died. Yeah, that was a least favorite moment. I'm going to be explaining that in a bit, but yeah. And in the end, yes, Harvey Bullock is back. Yep, in the end, Harvey Bullock came back and the two are a pair again. Hoping to do what is utmost. Now, let's talk about the least favorite moments because there were some I didn't really like. It just kind of turned me off a bit. But it didn't, detriment to the entire episode. I really did enjoy it. Like I said, there were some least favorite moments. One of them being that Bruce fired Alfred. Bruce firing Alfred was something that just came right out of left field. I was shocked that Bruce did that. And Bruce was just so stubborn, so determined to find the truth that he was unaware. All Alfred wanted was to protect Bruce Wayne. That to Alfred was all that matters. And Bruce just goes in and says, F off and you're fired just like that. That kind of made me sad. It hurt. It really did. Although I know a lot of people did like that scene, to me it didn't because it just really hurt the development that these two had. And I'm happy they reconciled and everything, but when it did, it just hurt. And they did a good job at it too. There was also another scene later on while Theo was talking with Jerome and his mooks that the mayor, in the beginning of the episode, the mayor gets kidnapped by Theo Galavin. He was trapped and have his head in a box. And Theo was threatening the mayor that he would put a spider in there And the mayor went for the most obvious option and just let him go. But instead, I see later on that the mayor ends up being part of some kinky torture by two of Theo's girls. One of them was Barbara Keene. And I'm like, that's just right out of left field. I'm like, what? Okay, I just don't know. Maybe because they need a little bit of excitement. Not that it wouldn't matter because the end of the episode was just really... It turned me off. Sarah's death was something that also turned me off a bit because, yeah, Sarah was a strong character. She was like a support character for Gordon and the rest of the GCPD. But seeing her die like that, it just really hurt. It really hurt. And I don't know if it's meant for shock value or whatnot, but they did succeed on the shock value, I tell you. They did succeed on it. Although the episode itself was just one dark throw right after another. It was dark. It was scary. It was not the darkness I had in mind, but what can I say? Overall, the episode was a very good one. It sparked new life, and I really did enjoy it a lot. It really wasn't a smooth ride, trust me, but by the end, it just felt like you just want to know what's going to happen next week. It just excited me more and more. I just loved it. It's just really, really good. Now, here's my final verdict on this. Remember, all my scores are opinionated. So, if you feel you want to disagree and you feel you have a better thought on it, feel free to let me know. My final verdict for Knock Knock is an 8 out of 10. Without a doubt, a great episode. Great episode, very dark. There were a lot of intense action, a lot of good moments, moments that are going to make you laugh, like with Jerome and his psychotic. It was just so believable. It was just crazy. There are moments that are going to make you sad. There are moments that are going to make you cheer. But in the end, you're just all the more excited for what's going to happen next week. Believe me. I am more than excited for next week because next week is going to be good. I really am hyped for this. So yeah, that's about it for this week's review of Gotham. I hope you enjoyed it. I am doing these reviews once a week, so that way you guys can get like more time to see gaming footage and everything. Yeah, I'm a busy dude. I got a lot of work to do, a lot of stuff, so yeah, that's how things are. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit the like button. It does mean a lot to me, and I'll see you guys next time, or rather next week for another episode review. All right, peace out.